Yo, what's up? This is your boy Postman, and you're tuned in to Post in the Diary Room. Welcome to Post in the Diary Room. And as you may know, every day is a good day to get a delivery from the Postman. And of course, if this is your very first time tuning in, please kindly like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever is necessary to engage with the content. International superstar slash award-winning slash coolest kid in Africa slash David slash Iverson slash and so many other slashes, Nasty C has released a brand new album titled I Love It Here. So this is a really long project. It's extremely long. It comprises of 19 tracks. It's 19 tracks long, and the listen overall is just under an hour. I think an estimation would be around 58 minutes. And the release of this project comes after a visible rollout, with also the punch coming in handy just before the release of the project. And I think importantly, I think it's understandably so, right? Understandably so. It's really understandable that the talking point at the present moment concerning the feature is the big feature being Benny the Butcher. But there are also new people that Nasty C has recently worked with. They're like new people, new faces working with Nasty C, like Maglera Doe Boy, 25K, Manana, Ami Faku, Anika Kiana, and there's also a lot of producers involved in this body. But the ones that I wanna mention are Select Play Music, Christa, as well as the legendary DJ Khalil. The album starts off with She's Gone, and the end there is a voice effect used on his voice. The sound of the ocean gains prominence in the song. And importantly, the song is about the tragic loss of his mother, and how he packaged it was really crazy to me, because one would expect him to, use the typical approach, but he didn't do that. But at the same time, he managed to remain intentional and introspective. And towards the end, his girlfriend kind of shares words of wisdom, and she says, "You are endless," to line up the transition to the song being endless. The song in question, being endless, dropped midweek, and it has a really melodic feel, with the auto-tune taking center stage when it goes like, yeah, 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 yeah. I think the song essentially highlights the impact and reach his music has had over the past years. And there's also another transition leading up to the song Crazy, 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 Crazy. And this happens to be a song that I hated as a single, to be quite honest, because I thought that this was just a Coca-Cola song, and I was really surprised to see it on the track list. And I think the Coca-Cola open verse challenge that a lot of artists were supposed to jump on made it even worse, because a lot of them had horrendous verses. I think I enjoyed more now that's on the album, and I see where it sits. The song Fuck That sounds very atmospheric, and Nasty C just says to his fans, "Betcha fella, and you guaranteed your money back." And importantly, he emphasized that he wants his flowers right now. And to me, this was a very sappy cut, but also it has elements that lead to broken marriages, which would then become a very powerful song, because I think Nasty C is right. Most men usually find the best women and manage to sabotage that by chasing baddies. This is a very deep song, and the bag he had out there is so clean and relatable, in my opinion. I had to run back Release Me a few times because of the kind of build the song has. He opens it up with a casual tone, and you can more or less picture his face when you start saying, "I'm so guilty," because that already on its own has some sort of dramatic effect. He's basically telling us that he's human too, and that he wants to be himself. He knows that there are people who are crazy enough to put him on the same level as Jesus, but he doesn't really want that. Instead, he says, "I'm a geek and a sucker for love." This could be his own rendition of Savior by Kendrick Lamar. Essentially, Nasty C is not your savior, and he's not coming to save you. While Prosper in Peace is such a good song, and overall it shows his artistic capabilities, because I think Nasty C wrote the song to his haters. He wrote the song for his haters. He was just like addressing his haters out there. And I'm sure he's really aware of the comparisons that do happen on social media. But I think for the most part, I am sure, very sure of this, Nasty C, whenever he goes out to perform, niggas are always showering him with love because he's that guy, you know. And Sunset Walks sounds really overcast than sunny, to say the least, because the beat makes it feel that way. But Nasty C is out there expressing how much he loves his hun. Moreover, this time has an Afro beats feel to it. There is a shaker loop that is used at the back, and for me, this song is very brilliant because it's for someone who's on the brink of a breakup. Considering how Nasty C was listing all those things that he will do better, and I think Ami Faku was also so good. I actually enjoyed how well she structured all the moments in her verse. She knew when to take it up and when to bring it back down. Nonetheless, I Love You by Nasty C has him riding the bass, and the approach that he chose was really different, because there are like a lot of different approaches out here, because he used a different type of linguistic approach in particular. And I did also review No More, so I don't really think it's necessary for me to get deep into that. Nasty C actually wrote a song about the fallen heroes in SA hip hop, and he did it the best way he knew how, and that was through a trap beat. I think the direction of the song was really intentional, because this is something he can also perform while showing respect and commemorating the people that we have lost in recent times. And I think the bass guitar on the song Know Yourself gains prominence, and he makes use of a different voice on the pre-chorus leading to the chorus. It sounded really squeaky, and for me that intro was really explicit, but that's him essentially advising the girls on See Me Now. Both Manana and Nasty C sound so alike, but it becomes clear on who's who when Nasty C starts rapping. And on the other hand, Temptations has a really fast tempo. Nasty C shares where he comes from. He shares that where he comes from, a clean life was really impossible, because at some point he aspired to be like his role models who sold drugs. The song really sounds full, with Manana mentioning that life feels like a game. The song Kill the Noise champions the spirit of a minimalistic use of production elements, and from Maglera Doe Boy, he was so great on this song, man. I think his verse was really clear and concise, and to me it sounded like an extension of what he did on his overly criticized Diaspora album. This was a great contribution by Maglera Doe Boy. The song Pops by Nasty C is so full circle, because you can also link it with what he said back in 2017, or whenever Price said he dropped on the song Say No More. He said, but if I gotta disappoint just to prove a point, I'ma do this shit whether he dead or alive, man. This is a very full circle moment, because the music actually worked out for Nasty C, and his pops is really proud of him. And as a result, he wrote the song for his dad, just to give thanks for all the things that his father has done for him. And he's just really thankful, and he's really proud of his dad at the same time. Hard Choice trended for a really long time, because there was a video of Nasty C, telling his fans that he's looking for someone to feature on the song, but he just doesn't know who. But the only person he had in mind at the time was 25K, and it eventually happened. 25K jumped on the song, and both men share stories of what it took for them to reach the levels of success that they've managed to reach over the years. And the song, or the album also, the album closes off with a song about his son. Nasty C definitely elevated the standard with this one, because it sounds really mature, introspective, and the door of inclusivity is open, because some of these songs were not necessarily for him, but were for his fans and the experiences that he thinks they might be going through. I think the album has everything for everyone, and I think the low light, importantly for me, the low light in regards to this project is the length. I think this project is really bloated. He could have trimmed it down. However, it does sound really well thought through, and it does have direction, because the start of the album is about the end of a life, and the end of the album is about the start of a new life. A fair rating for this project would be an 8 out of 10. Nasty C's album I Love It Here gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Post in the diary room, please kindly like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever is necessary to engage with the content